later on. But tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about customer care. It's often told that it's much easier to support the living than to raise the dead. And certainly never is that more true in our business. It is much easier to care for a customer than it is to go out and get a new one. Many of you who are doing massive action plans right now or in the middle of a 90-day game plan, you know how hard you work and the relationships that you create in order to get a customer, in order to build their belief around the product enough that they'll actually go on the product. And it's vitally important that you look after that customer, because that customer is your best referral network. And we're going to hear from somebody a little later on who has always held customer care to be of utmost importance, and as a result of that customer care has built a big customer base, a bunch of raving fans, and most importantly, a referral network that still comes back to her this day, which is so important. When you understand the importance of networking and network marketing, you then understand just how important customer care is. So many of you would have or have tapped into various Facebook groups and put your customers onto those Facebook groups. We certainly have one that is available to all of hunters and gatherers. It's called Juice Plus Healthy Life. Very imaginative name. But it is a group that you can put your customers onto, and each month we have a theme. So the theme for August is hydration, and loads of people have been posting various tips and tricks about how to improve your hydration. And in addition to that, we have some unbelievable Juice Plus whole foodies who post their various recipes and food ideas for getting good quality fruits and veggies in. So it's a place that customers can receive just little bits of information and education around fruits, vegetables, healthy living, simple changes, and also of course, within that is talking about the importance of Juice Plus on a daily basis. So it's just that, no, it's not a swan scarf. I'll show you guys again. It is I've got it upside down. This is just for Alice. I think Alice, you're there, but this is for the crew. Can you see that? Singapore. So this is for the Singapore crew, but it is Swan's colours, I know. So tapping people into your various Facebook groups. Some people here have already developed their own for their teams, and that's fantastic. But just having that almost subliminal messaging on a regular basis is great for our customers. But not all of our customers are Facebook savvy, and it's important to recognise that that's a new technology, particularly for older customers who might have been around like us dinosaurs were before the age of Facebook. So what is really, really important is that as part of your franchise agreement and the tried and proven system that we have access to as part of your virtual office and your virtual franchise is a customer care program that has been years and years in development. So I can tell you now that the 280-day personal touch customer care program that you have access to as a franchisee or distributor is a tried and proven system that works. So why would you go and reinvent the wheel when the customer care program that is known to work is right there at your fingertips? So every single person here has their own virtual office. And if you go into the My Customers section of your virtual office, you will find a drop-down menu that says Manage My Customers. And under Manage My Customers, you will find all of the instructions that you need in order to look after your customers. It's a fantastic 280-day program, so it takes them through their first and second boxes. And there's a step-by-step guide that you can follow. You don't even have to think. In fact, you don't even have to come up with the words to use to talk to your customers, because everything is scripted just for you. So I'm going to just quickly do a screen share, and I want you to give me a thumbs up if you can see it. It should be a picture of our virtual office. Can everyone see that? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Brilliant. Thank you, Brett. Okay, can you see my cursor over the top of the screen? Brilliant. Okay, so this is under your Manage My Customers drop-down menu, which is on your dashboard. You'll see My Customers, and this is the Manage My Customers. You can go search for this lady yourself. So right here, this talks you through what the company does. So NSA, or the Juice Plus company, supports you by shipping Juice Plus directly to your customers, so you know that, invoicing your customers, collecting their payments, and paying your retail profit and your commissions. Well, you guys all know that. There's also the installment program where your customers receive their full 4 months supply right up front, but then they get direct debit every month. Well, we know that. They also send your customers a welcome letter. And to those of you who are already your own preferred customer, you would have received your welcome letter in your first shipment of Juice Plus. And it tells you how to take Juice Plus, full glass of water, 2 red, 2 green, and so on. Now, if you have included an email in your customer's application, and I think it's possibly one of the most important pieces of information to go on that customer order, then they will be included in the follow-up program that the company emails out. So that is a series of 7 emails that come from the Juice Plus company directly to your customer to help keep them in their habit. And those will come out at set times within that first 280 days. So the first email will come out somewhere between day 6 and 10. And it will congratulate them on taking their product. Have you received it? If not, do you have a little slip, much like this one that I've just received today, in your mailbox? Perhaps it's down at the post office. And it just answers a couple of common questions. On the second email is about day 15, 16, and it's just a wellness update. It's sort of asking people to question, have they started to notice any changes, why we need to be eating more fruits and veggies, and so on. The third email, it's update number 2, and it's just establishing, is the customer part way through finishing their first 2 bottles of Juice Plus. So that goes out after about a month of them being on Juice Plus. Talks through our very first study that was ever done, the current therapeutic research study, and is actually from John Blair, who is, he was the product research and development vice president, and now I think he's just 2RC in command. There's then on day 45 of them being on the product, there's a third update. Are you adding a little exercise? Are you making other changes around your health? Then on day 60, so halfway through their box, what is the price of health and well-being? And that's another little health update. And then the 6th email is on day 75, so around about 3/4 of the way through. It's another message from John Blair talking about the research around inflammation and Juice Plus. And then on day 100, which is just prior to the end of their first box finishing, there's a message from Peter Glenning, inquiring how they found their Juice Plus, and that we have studies from Australian universities, and that he's been a long time user of Juice Plus. So there's those 7 emails that come from the company itself. In addition to that, it is suggested, and this is where you guys come in, it is suggested that you make at least 6 phone calls or some form of communication, whatever it is you've established your customer prefers to communicate with. That might be email, it might be phone call, it might be an SMS messenger, it might be a Facebook message, whatever it is, you have established already how your customer would like to communicate. And it is suggested that you make 6 contacts. And once again, you'll find in the drop-down menu the script of what you need to say. So you don't even have to think. You can just read if you want to. So call number 1 should be, again, about 10 days after the product is shipped, thanking them again for being a customer. Have they received their product? Are they taking, 2 fruit, 2 veg, 2 dairy the right way? Call number 2, it's suggested at about 60 days after the product is shipped, ensuring they're still in their habit. By 60 days, they should have finished their first 2 bottles, so making sure they're on time. Call number 3 is about 100 days. Now, guys, this is the most important phone call. This is the phone call that most people dread, because it's the phone call that if they haven't done their customer care up until this point, it's the point where they have to say to the customer, are you ready for your next box? And we're all fearful that they're saying that they're going to cancel. No, I'm not ready. Haven't taken it for 2 months. So that is why all the customer care up until that point is so vitally important, that they are receiving messages from you, text messages, Facebook messages, whatever it is, that you have done your work to keep them in the habit. Because so many people in the past, and we've all made the mistake, procrastinate on that 100-day call because they know they haven't done their customer care up until that point. But seriously, if you decide to do nothing else with your customers, the most important call you need to make is that one at 100 days, just prior to them finishing off their first box or their last 2 bottles, because you need to establish that they are ready to receive their next box. Nothing is worse for a customer. Nothing creates more havoc at head office with irate, angry customers who receive a box they weren't ready to receive. And it's absolutely vitally important that you play your role as their sponsor in that. We get paid as franchisees with the Juice Plus company. We get paid in commission and retail to look after our customers and keep them in their habit. The most important diligence that you do is you ensure that the money that your customer is investing in their health is well spent and that they are staying in their Juice Plus habit. So that call number 3 at 100 days is really important. Call number 4, about 140 days, just a courtesy call. You've received your next box. You're well and truly into it. Maybe invite them along to a wellness event or a Zoom call or something. Call number 5 is at about 220 days. Again, how are you going with your product? Call number 6 at about 280 days. Congratulate them, because by then they are well and truly in their Juice Plus habit. And then from then on in, some of us, I'm going to stop sharing the screen in a sec. I just want to point. So there's the follow-up program there. And over here on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see there are some hyperlinks here where you can actually download the scripts right here. You can... You've got your personal telephone call, so the scripts for the telephone call, and you've even got a direct hyperlink here to setting up postcards and what's on the postcards. So everything is there that you need to do good customer care. There are some people who would prefer to do everything manually, and that's okay. If you're not savvy with the virtual office, then that's absolutely okay. Some people like to set up lever arch folders, and and this is how we used to do it in the old days. We used to have a piece of paper that had all the profile of the customer, and that went into the month and the day that we next needed to follow them up. And when we followed them up, we'd write down, and then we'd move it to the next month that we had to follow up. You can use a diary system if you like. You can put into the diary when you need to follow them up. And certainly by the time you get to that 280 days, all you need to do from there on in is perhaps send each of your customers an SMS or a Facebook message just once a month. How are you going with your Juice Plus? And it's amazing to be able to get that response back. Oh, yep, haven't taken it for a week, but we'll get back onto it. Oh, yep, no, I'm really good. I'm really regular with my Juice Plus. And that's all that you then need to do. So imagine how well you are being paid for contacting a customer for 10 seconds once a month to make sure that they're staying in the habit. That's a really fantastic residual income. And it certainly reflects on the fact that it is way easier to keep a customer and look after a customer than it is to go out and find a new one, when you're getting to the point where all you need to do is send them a text once a month. One of the other tips that we have is at the beginning of a month to print off your customer genealogy. If you get to the point where you've then got a customer that's fallen off that 280-day personal touch program, so they're beyond that point in time, a really handy tip is to print off your genealogy report at the beginning of the month, so say on the 1st of the month, and go through and see who is due their next box in that month. And then you diarise it to make sure you contact them. So that's another really quick and easy way over the long term to keep a hold of where your customers are at. Some people use the tracking the tracking system in the virtual office for alerting ourselves to when a customer is due a contact, and certainly on your dashboard you have alerts, and you can actually put customers in there for their regular ongoing alerts. If you want to know more about that, then please speak to your upline about how you can best utilize your virtual office for ongoing alerts to yourself. Some people just put alerts in their telephone to remind them of the importance of following up with their customers. So I'd just like to bring onto the call Hilary Manners, who we all know is a massive advocate of customer care, and has certainly created one of the greatest models of customer care, and has certainly, as a result of good customer care, has developed a really amazing referral network. So Hil, I'd love you to share for maybe 5 minutes just what good customer care has actually meant to your business ongoing, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'd love to. And thanks for that intro. We've got a very interesting situation here. We've got Nat Baldock downstairs using my laptop because she's had internet problems. I'm upstairs using the iPad, didn't really know how to use it for Zoom, but here I am. Thanks, Tamara. I haven't heard everything you've said, but I'm sure you've done an awesome job. Guys, before I start, I just need to very quickly tell you, I do outstanding customer care, and I'm one of those weird people. I love it. But I've had lots of cancellations. But when I get a cancellation, even though I try and reinstate them, I'm quite often able to do that. And I will share with Tamara to put on her Hunters and Gatherers files a document I've made about how to approach someone when they've cancelled, because quite often they don't mean to cancel at all. You know, the thing is, I don't beat myself up because I know I've done the very best I can. And Tamara, I loved your really profound statement. We are paid to do customer care. Why don't we do it? And obviously, we all know that a lot of it is fear. Guys, if they're going to cancel, they're going to cancel. So if you've done the very best, as I said, you know, be easy with it. So how has customer care really helped my business? Amazingly. For the last 18 years, one of the biggest things I've done is I ask for referrals. I ask for referrals verbally when I'm speaking to my customer, and I also write it on any documents that I'm sending out. So if the only thing you take from my little input tonight is to learn this off by heart. So every single time, and people won't get sick of hearing it, it'll take maybe even a year before you get any referrals, but eventually you do. So if you can remember, if you were sending them something, you write on it, to keep Juice Plus at its already wonderfully affordable price. We never ever advertise. So please, we need your help. Please let me know if you have anyone who'd like information on Juice Plus. I'd love to contact them, strictly obligation free. So you imagine if you've written that, and then every time you're just about to hang up after having a lovely chat with someone who's really happy, and you just say, now remember, Jenny, we don't advertise at all, and that keeps Juice Plus down at its wonderfully affordable price. So please help us. If you know anyone, please ask them if it's okay for me to call them, blah, blah, blah. Now, you notice I didn't say, please ask them to contact me. That will never happen in a million years. It's like anything when you do it, contacting someone, a stranger, try and get their information. So yeah, to answer Tamara's question properly, I've ended up with sometimes not many referrals, but when I do get them, I'm like a little kid who got an ice cream. It's just so rewarding. It really is. But the most thing is, just recently, after all this time, I've got not one, not two, but 3 raving fan customers who are absolutely, they'd rather slit their wrists than not have their Juice Plus, decide that they needed Plan B for income, and they've decided to join us in our quest to inspire healthy living and market Juice Plus. So it's really interesting. One of those couples are in their 70s, but they've needed Plan B. They've been on Juice Plus for about 12 years. They've had really good customer care. One couple, another lady, and she and her daughter are coming here to have a coffee with me. They've been customers for about 10 years. And another one are some people up in Darwin. How awesome to start a team in Darwin. So basically to wind that up, why wouldn't you ask for referrals? You know, you'll get into the funnel comes all these really happy customers who can become franchisees. And the other thing I'd really like to finish with, Tamara, is, you know what good customer care does? It actually gives you confidence. You get rid of that fear factor. We're bulletproof with all the research. You're bulletproof with all the colleague help and support. So just do it, guys. It's fun. And also do it when you're fresh and usually in the morning. Be on a mission. If you're having a down day and you don't feel good, please don't do that customer care. Do it when you're feeling upbeat. Hope that helps.
Beautiful, Hill. Thank you. That was really, really sound advice there, coming from someone who's been doing this for well over 10 years. And thank you for everybody's comments, Hilary. There's a few comments for you there in the chat box. The other person who's been around a long time, and I'm going to dump this on her at the last minute, she didn't know I was going to ask her this, is Bronnie. And Bronnie certainly comes from the dinosaur age, much like us, where she used to use A4 filing systems, and she might still use it. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if she's advanced to the virtual office yet. But the other great thing is that I know that Bron has a couple of customers that have been with her for well over 10 years on the Juice Plus products. So, Bron, I know you shared this 2 weeks ago, but there's a few new faces on the call tonight. I was wondering if you could share what it means to, and you don't have to give us exact numbers, but what it has meant to you financially to look after some of these customers that have been with you for such a long time. Just give us a ballpark.
Okay, well, hi everybody, and Hill, that was fantastic. Okay, I'm always about the money, and that's what I love to share with you all, that what a customer is worth. So I have a customer, Jill, and she's been with me 12 years. And she's been on the fruit and veggie, and she has never, ever progressed to taking the berry. She's very, very happy with her fruits and veg. So Jill has 3 boxes go out per year. So that is $214.50. is what I get paid per year to have Jill as my raving customer with referrals. Now, times that by 12, and I've got my little dinosaur calculator here, and that will give you 2,000. Jill, in 12 years, I have received $2,574 is what Jill has been part of my income. So I don't have a problem with taking Jill to dinner. I don't have a problem with taking Jill and her husband out for a few drinks here and there. And I don't have a problem with any money that I spend at Christmas time, which is usually sending them some complete sachets, because I just am so grateful for the fact that Jill has raved about the product for 12 years. Now, I have another 3 customers that are due to come up, like Hilary. We've been around for a long time. So these 3 customers are coming up for 10 years. And same deal, we didn't have anything else but fruit and veg. So these people have stayed with that. And I haven't tried to force it anything more onto them. And so I'm getting $2,574 for those 3. So if you times that by 3, because there's 3 of them, that's $7,722 I have received from those 3 people for 10 years. So customers are your piece of gold, and I say it to you all the time. We need that customer base to build our qualification every month. And I always say, if we don't have customers, we don't have a business. So that's my philosophy around customer care. And I just love it. I'm a bit like Hill. They're not customers to me. I have built amazing friendships, and I feel very, very excited that they will stay on this product until we're not on this planet. That's how I feel about it. So thank you for letting me share that, Tamara.
Yeah, thanks. I always think that it's really, it's a bit of a punch in the face, isn't it? A bit of a reality check when you realise that you are running a business that is about sales and marketing, and it is about customer care. So it really is, I think, the foundation to our business, guys. And often in all the events that we run and talking about the business and, you know, moving the business opportunity, often the importance of what our business is about, which is actually keeping people on the product, gets a little bit lost. Now, I will just point out that at the moment, Hill just brought this up with me today. Thanks for sharing, Hill. There are a lot of people not getting at the moment their reminder emails to contact their new customers. Has anyone noticed particularly that they might have put new customers on in the last 2 months and have not received a reminder to pick up the phone and call? Okay, all right. So it seems that that has fallen off again. So Hillary is onto it. Thanks, Hill. But what I would suggest, guys, is that you actually keep your own record of when you need to make those contact phone calls. There's only 6 of them that you need to make. I don't know about you, but my whole life is in my calendar on my phone. There's no reason why you just can't put Sarah Smith call 3 on the 22nd of August and just put it in there as an alarm. So as soon as you get your customer and their application goes in, just put those 6 reminder calls in your calendar over that 280 days. And then beyond that 280 days, just print out your PC genealogy at the beginning of each month, and then you know who's due a box that month that you need to call. The other ways that are important for customer care, inviting people to events. You never know if there is someone in your customer base who is interested in the business, so invite them. You know, you never know, there might be someone who is really interested in whole food. So, you know, invite them to one of Natalie Baldock's Real Food for Real Change or her Whole Food and Healing. You never know, there might be an athlete in your group who might love to come along and hear Steve Coulter. You might find that there's a mummy who wants to come along and listen to me talk about pregnancy and health. So, you know, make sure that you've got a little bit of a profile on your customers, and you know that you've got all these events to invite them onto. And the wonderful thing is, you know, we've now got our Facebook events on a Sunday night, which cater to a lot of different demographics that you can invite people along to. So just remember that it's not just about the phone calls, it's not just about the tracking emails, it's not just about the SMSs, but it's about the Facebook groups, it's about the parties, and it's about the ongoing wellness events that we have around the place. So we've reached 8:30, guys. I'm going to turn off the